Haiti was never welcomed by the other Latino countries because there's anti-blackness in the other Latino countries. Although Haiti is the first Latino country, and although they helped almost every other country gain their independence, or at very least inspired, Latin America has not been welcoming towards Haitians, so much so that so many Haitians would just rather not identify as Latino because of all the anti-blackness, and they just would rather not deal with it. So obviously there is an issue of anti-blackness in Latinidad and the Latino community, and I really do think it starts with addressing Haitians.
Latinos of all backgrounds. Do y'all not realize black people are not the only people in this country? You got your Chinese Americans, your Japanese Americans, your Korean Americans, your Indian Americans, your Muslim Americans, your white Americans, and your own people. So why in Davy Jones' locker are y'all so pressed and mad at us because we not out protesting? Folks, we did the most effective protesting last November, and the data proves it. We protested when it mattered the most. We were not out here with whole productions talking about some "we will vote for Donald Trump." Y'all was out here with that foolishness, knowing full well, that y'all had a few abuelas, a few tios, tias, mijo, and mijas in your house undocumented. But y'all got y'all behinds on stage talking about some "we will vote for Donald Trump." And you think we supposed to be out here protesting, picket fence in hand, clowning like some monkeys in a zoo? No, sir, bop. We did what we were supposed to do. And y'all put y'all's own community in the position that it's in now. And y'all need to live with it.
Latinos in the United States have not earned the support of black people for us to be demanding, oh yeah, why aren't they coming out to protest with us? Why aren't they engaging in activism with us? Because we haven't earned it at all, in the slightest. Or did you guys forget that 46% of all eligible Latino voters voted for Donald Trump in the 2024 presidential election? Or how about the fact that racism, anti-blackness, colorism, all of these things are still very much pervasive in our communities? Bro, Latinos haven't even reconciled with the fact that they can't use the N-word unless they're also black themselves, because Afro-Latinos exist. Oh, and if we're talking about Miami, oof, you'll see the whitest MAGA Latinos be like, bro, but I grew up in the hood. I grew up around black people. In Overtown or in Liberty City, I could say it, bro. No one's going to stop me from saying it. It's my right. I'm not racist. I have a black friend. We haven't even gotten over that. And we want black people to go to protest with us, to engage in activism with us, putting their lives, their freedom, their bodies on the line? No. I completely understand any black person that wants to just disengage, disregard us. I get it, guys. I really, really do. And we, as Latinos, as a collective, should not be harboring resentment against black people, criticizing them, getting angry at them, questioning them. No. Because we've earned this. They are completely justified in feeling the way they feel and doing what they're doing. Now, I would like to give a message to the black folks watching this video. You are completely justified in your feelings and in doing what you're doing, and I respect it. But please remember that black folks are also being affected by this persecution of undocumented migrants. And I feel like that's not talked about enough either. Here, Miami, Florida is the best example. Haitians, Jamaicans, Bahamians, Afro-Cubans, Afro-Hondurans, Garifunas, black people from all over Latin America and all over the world, Africans, just so many black people that are also undocumented that are really being affected by the persecution of this administration. And of course, much like any other entity in space, black folks in immigration detention centers, in the immigration system, are treated worse than their white, Latino, Asian counterparts. So it's really important to acknowledge that and just let you guys know. But yeah, Latinos, we need to tighten up. If you guys want the support of the black community, then earn it. Demonstrate that we can solve these issues of racism in our own communities, and please stop saying the N-word. If you're not black, don't say the N-word. It's really simple, actually.
This message is for Latinos and Hispanics in the United States. Let me be clear. A lot of you guys have made videos saying that Black people, African Americans, need to do more to help you guys fight against ICE and these raids. And I want to be very clear and say this to you directly. We have helped. We've done our jobs. Not only have we helped and done our jobs, our ancestors helped and done our jobs. Many of the rights and many of the luxuries that you guys are afforded in this country came off the back of slaves, our ancestors. It came off the back of us being mistreated. We have always been the targets. We have always been the ones that have been enduring over policing and police brutality in this country. It's been us. What you are experiencing is what we have been experiencing the entirety of our lives in this country. That's what it's like to be Black in America every single day. What you guys are feeling right now, the hurt, the pain, the anger, the outrage, that's what it feels like to be Black in America every single day of our lives. Now, let me say this. Not only have our ancestors fought for you, in this past election, we went into the voting booth and we fought for you. We also told you how to vote. You did not listen, the majority of you. We also hear when you say, I know Black, I know Black. They don't care. They are making no distinction. You are brown. It's not white. They're not making a distinction. You say, I know Black, not because of your culture and your heritage, but because you know how poorly we're treated in this country and you don't want that treatment. But when they look at you, they see Black. They don't see Hispanic. They don't see Dominican. They don't see Haitian. They don't see Venezuelan. They see Black. They don't see Cuban. They see Black. And because you guys thought that your morals, the fact that you couldn't vote for a woman, the fact that you're against certain communities, you thought that you could flirt with conservatives and the Republicans and Donald Trump and vote for him, and that you were going to be safe because, you know what? You're one of the good ones. You know what? You got your papers. You're legal. But guess what? Your abuelita wasn't legal. Your tios wasn't legal. Some of the little babies in your family wasn't legal. And even if you're legal, they're still coming after American citizens, and they're still coming after you. So they're looking at you, and they are racially profiling you just like they've been doing to us since slavery, since the 18th century. And I'm going to tell you something. There's going to need to be an apology to the Black community. There's going to need to be an understanding that we know what we're doing when it comes to moving politically in this country, and for you guys to follow suit. Or you guys are going to have to take this fight on your own. Because if you don't come with humility and apologies and repentance, because let's be real, in the Hispanic community, in the Latino community, there is a lot of racism towards Black people. You don't want Black men dating your daughters. You don't want your sons dating Black women. There is a lot of racism, and we know this. And I have so many guys that I've connected with in such an amazing way since I got to California, who have amazing families. They're Latino, Hispanic, they're incredible people. Some of you guys, you're very racist towards Black people. So now you're asking for us to get out into the streets and protest and help you. We're not. Not unless you guys come with some serious humility and you start listening to us. When we tell you to go in there and vote for this person, take your ass in the voting booth and vote for this person. Your values and your morals cannot overcome racism in America. That's not how our politics work. You not liking women being in charge cannot overcome racism in America. That is not how our politics work. When you go into a voting booth in America, you vote to save your family. Black people have been doing that for years. I didn't vote for Kamala Harris because I thought that she was going to be the best person for the job. I voted for her because I knew she wouldn't mess with my family. I voted for her because I knew she wouldn't tolerate people locking up 5-year-old boys. I voted for her because I knew she wouldn't tolerate people getting killed in the streets. I voted for her because I knew she wouldn't tolerate people coming up to random people off the streets and asking whether you're an American citizen and can I see your paperwork. I voted for her because I knew at the very least she would uphold the Constitution. You couldn't do it because she was a Black woman. You couldn't do it because of misogyny and because all of these ideals that, oh, we macho, we need a man to lead us. That man is leading your ass right back to Venezuela, to Cuba. And look at what Marco Rubio did to you. Marco Rubio was Cuban, right? He went down to Florida and said, oh, yeah, you're going to be all right. We're not going to be getting rid of people who are here on TPS and who have legal paperwork. We're just coming after the criminals. How's that working out for you? It's not. Y'all made a song, I will vote for Donald Trump. And guess what? You getting sent right back to Cuba. So I'm going to tell you something. If you guys want Black people to help you, open up your ears and listen. When we tell you who to vote for, you vote for them. Not because of your morals and you're not believing in abortion or gay marriage or any of those other social issues, because it's the best thing to protect you and your family.
Latinos. Latinos for Trump. Anyways, I'm so happy that these people finally got to that stage. They go to that particular premises. They go to that particular audience to understand that Black Americans were never the problem. I'm happy that a lot of them realize that their own wickedness that they have created is what has literally breached the gap between them and Black Americans. I'm happy that a lot of them are realizing that their own system is what is literally sinking them. I'm happy. But anyways, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. With that being said, let's go continue watching the other clips I have for you guys, and I'll be back with commentaries. Let's go watch, guys.
You know what's crazy to me, bro, is when they had the BLM protest, everybody was popping out. Every celebrity, YG, the Ball brothers, everybody was popping out. Where's that now? Where are the celebrities now? Where are they protesting now? Where are the teams now? Why is nobody speaking up? Even Kendrick Lamar made a song. Lil Baby made a song. But where's everybody now?
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. Where's J-Lo? Where's Bad Bunny? Where's Maluma? Where's Shakira? Talk to your own people. Because J-Lo was just up on the pulpit at the inauguration doing this.
Justicia para todos. Let's get loud.
No matter what happens in this country, everyone under that POC umbrella always finds a way to put the focus back on Black people. Obviously, we understand what's going on right now with the ICE raids that are going on in America and Los Angeles, to be specific. But there have been a lot of Latino people coming online asking about Black celebrities and Black people showing up and comparing this event to BLM. Now, don't get me wrong. We were home during the pandemic. People had no jobs. People weren't in the office. And yes, Black people, Black celebrities, Black businessmen showed up for Black people. Corporations and teams that had Black people on them showed up for their Black constituents and their Black workers. As it currently stands as demographic, there are more Latinos in America than there are Black people. And half of that population voted for what's going on right now. Speak to your own population. Stand up for yourself with each other. Talk internally about how you're so disjointed between the Central and South Americans and the Caribbean people in the East Coast. Talk to each other. Why are you looking for Black people to put you guys on a pedestal and go fight for you when this is also your fight, primarily your fight? Black Lives Matter was our fight, but we speak up for ourselves. We also speak up for everyone, and we did it the most with our vote. And even though Black people are saying this is not our fight, we're sitting this out, we're doing all these things like resting, there are several ways Black people are showing up by not supporting Starbucks, by not supporting Target, by not supporting any company that put out D&I, by boycotting, by using our voice like I do. There's so many ways that Black people still will always show up for ourselves in this country. And when we show up for ourselves, guess who benefits? Everyone else. Reach out to your fellow Asians. Reach out to your Middle Eastern Arab people. Reach out to the large Russian population that's in LA, the Armenians, the Persians. There's so many immigrant groups that live in this city, but you want to single out Black people. Can't win them all. Ciao.
Now I can empathize and sympathize with the Black community. I've never been able to do that before because I would hear them say things like, oh, you know, we walk down the street and we get profiled and, you know, cops will just suddenly stop and frisk or whatever just because of the color of their skin. And I always thought like, you know, it's a little bit of a stretch. It feels like a little bit of a stretch. That person must be doing something, right? And obviously I've never experienced that before. I've never felt that way before and stuff. And so I always thought like, ignorantly, by the way, on my part, thinking like, you know, I think you guys are, because I'm brown, you know, I've never felt that and stuff like that, you know, I'm also a minority. But now, for us, it wasn't the cops. Cops aren't just randomly to go and checking in the past. But now it's our turn, right? Now we feel it. now we feel like, crap, can I just go down the street? Do I need my paper? It's like, why are you stopping me? I'm a U.S. citizen. We're not doing anything wrong. And now we're being persecuted. And so now I'm thinking like, crap, this is what the black community meant, and I kind of feel bad. Well, I feel bad because I never really could understand where they were coming from or where you guys were coming from. But I can assure you that now that it's here with us too, it's like, crap. I honestly, legitimately didn't think it was real. But it's real as hell. And it's obviously minority groups that are targeted and persecuted pretty much. And it's right now with us is because we're brown. You guys have had your turn when, cops were just in bigger cities, urban areas, stopping disproportionately, the black community and stuff. And I just want to say, like, I guess now I understand. I think moving forward, there's going to be a little bit more unity because we now can see where you guys are coming from, or at least I can, and so, yeah, guys, I just want to say sorry for being ignorant before, but I hope this unites all communities, not just minorities, and call out things for what they are, regardless of the race.
The black community was right, and they've always been right. And if we could push aside, the Latino community, we could push aside our racism, our colorism, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here because they have been warning us about what's going on, and your empathy was not there for the black community. It wasn't. So now that it's happening to us, now you get it. Now you see where they're coming from. Now you see the similarities. And I really hope that there comes a time where my people truly wake up, because the black community is fucking strong. They're smart. They have learned their history. And they try to tell us. They try to teach us. Black women have tried to tell us. 92%ers tried to fucking tell us. Granted, I listened. My ears were open. But a lot of my Latino community was like, okay. And I truly hope that, yes, it sucks that we are here and that things are so ugly. But I hope that we are learning and we're growing. And it's okay to be wrong and to admit it and to try to do better next time. Next time we vote, next time something happens to somebody who is part of the black community, because now we know what the fuck it feels like.
I just want to say, watching these raids happen in LA right now, people voted for this, and I think right now the black and the brown community, we need to come together, and we need to remember that they are the ones who made it us versus them. They put us against each other, because if we're busy fighting each other, we don't put our eyes on them. We need to wake up. Everybody needs to wake up.
Girl, you need to wake up. Not the Hispanics calling on the black people for help. Really? Where were y'all during George Floyd? Where were y'all during Sandra Bland? Where were y'all during all of the white cops killing black people? Where were y'all? But y'all want us to come together. Really? Really? Why y'all calling on us? Why y'all calling on the black people? Why y'all not calling on Asians? They're a minority too. Why y'all calling for us? If you go on my page, you will see I made a post about how there was a Trump rally for Trump back in 2020, before he even got elected 4 years ago. And there was a crowd full of Hispanics, and the song was saying, I will vote for Donald Trump. Y'all want it. Y'all got it. Y'all got him into office, and now y'all want to double back and ask for help, calling all the African Americans to help. Like, come on now. We gonna stay out of this. We gonna stay as far away from this. Y'all can continue to riot and make yourselves look bad, but we gonna stay out of this.
So this is a message for Hispanic people or Latina people, not just the white presenting Latinos, all of them, including the more Afro Latinos, when it comes to this whole deportation thing and solidarity with the black community. you guys have no right to be angry at Black people who choose not to want to support or have solidarity with you. And the only reason why I say this is because the amount and level of disrespect that we Black Americans have suffered from the Hispanic community when we tried to have solidarity in the past is astronomical. And you guys know about that disrespect, because try being a Latina woman with your whole family and bring home a Black man as your boyfriend and tell them that you want to marry him. And how would your family respond to that? Because I know a lot of you, if you brought home a Black person, like a Black American, your family is not having that. So how could we possibly have solidarity when the whole family is like, you bring home a Black person and it's just like their head starts spinning and they have an issue with that? On top of that, and also what adds insult to injury is basically saying when Hispanic people deny racism, like the fact that they're racist and the fact that they're colorist, the first time that it hit me about the Hispanic racism back in your own countries is when Black Panther, the second Black Panther came out, and the guy who played Namor, I forgot his name, the guy who played Namor talked about how you guys treat darker skinned people and indigenous people in your own countries, and that mentality, you guys bring it here into this country, especially after we Black people have went through a lot of strides in this country to get certain things put in place for civil rights. And instead of leaving that at the door in those countries, you guys bring those mindsets with you. And then on top of that, literally here on TikTok, there was a girl who had like 1 million views, and I still have the video and I can pull it, where she was talking about, she was only 20, and she was I could tell she was having a hard time articulating herself because she was crying and emotional. And she was talking about how she experienced racism and discrimination from her Hispanic community. And she said she was an Afro-Latina, and how she couldn't get a job and couldn't get hired. And a lot of these jobs are expecting you to speak Spanish. And so when I came behind her and I pointed out, yes, there are some things in the Hispanic community, what she's saying is true. It's just like the responses that I was getting from Hispanic people is just like the gaslighting that I would get from white people who try to deny racism. It's basically they were trying to say, oh, well, she wasn't qualified for the job. She wasn't, the same shit white people say. So if you do not have, none of you guys have a right to be mad at any Black person for not wanting to stand behind y'all in solidarity. Because from me, I used to work a job when I was younger in a restaurant, and the Hispanic dudes, a whole bunch of Hispanic dudes back there, and they was not American, and they would just say the craziest stuff, and I had to check them. And after I checked them, they ain't saying nothing to me after that. Even with my best friend, she worked at a restaurant, whole bunch of Hispanic dudes working in the back, calling her the hard ER and the B word, and she checked them, and they ain't say nothing to her after that. They ain't say nothing to her after that. So a lot of us Black Americans have very negative experience with you Hispanic people who, you guys are very racist. You have disrespected us. And so, yeah, we're aware of the disrespect. And I understand maybe on an individual level where if it's a Hispanic, a Hispanic person that I know on an individual level, that's something completely different. But as a collective level, Hispanic people have not broken down their own racism and white supremacy and disrespect. And they fail to realize that in this system, in the United States of America, you guys, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, I don't care how pale your skin is. If you're a Hispanic person, you're closer to a Black person than you are to a white person on this hierarchy. And Asian people are actually higher up on the hierarchy than you guys are. So if Black people don't want to be in solidarity and don't want to help, I don't feel like we should not be shamed for it. And you guys have no right to misdirect your anger towards us. If a Black woman says, I'm not protecting these kids, if ICE comes, whatever, or if a Black person says, I'm calling ICE, or if a Black person says, oh, well, I'm not going to support, I'm just going to sit back and rest and this, that, and that. Y'all have no right to be angry with us. No right. No right to be angry with us, especially after all the disrespect that not only we take from you guys, but other immigrant groups do it to us too, especially the Asians. And to add insult to injury, for me to find out that Asian people, and I don't know how true this is with the Hispanic people, but I heard that Hispanic people wanted to be classified closer to white than they did back in the day, instead of being in solidarity with Black people for fighting for civil rights and equal rights, which is just insane to me. And it was I wish I kept the video. It was one Hispanic civil rights activist that basically was saying, oh, the Black man's struggle or the Black struggle is not our struggle, this, that, and third. So they just basically didn't want to have solidarity with us. So please don't ask the Black community for shit.
The truth is, Latino community has been one of this community that Black Americans literally support. Like Black people literally giving their all just because Latino communities can have solidarity. And apart from solidarity, just because Latino communities can gain ground in America. You know, that is why I always keep asking myself, why do I need to bite the finger that feeds me? And I feel like a lot of Latino community do not even realize that what they are doing is really killing every single effort that Black Americans have literally put into place just for them to be able to survive. You know, sometimes I always ask myself, why not, if you don't know the history of something, you should literally do research. Latino communities has been one of the most anti-black community that right now, even when they are realizing for them to be able to adjust it is now so difficult for them. They idolize white folks so much. They love white folks so much. They thought white people can literally stand for them in terms of problems, in terms of predicaments. And that is why they took their all, despite what Black Americans preached out, despite what Black Americans said. They took their all in support of the white folks. And that is why whenever I see them on podcasts, I see them on live TV, always saying, oh, only Black Americans can do this for us, only Black Americans can do that for us. I just feel like these people are just hypocrites, because at the end of the day, the same people you said they are the only ones that can do this for you, do that for you, are still the same people you choose to backbite. They are still the same people you choose to vote against. Why? Because of the love you so much have for the white skin. And I'm happy that a lot of them are coming into realization, understanding that it is not just only on this, only associating with the white skin, they can never be white. I've literally brought that video where you see a white woman literally telling the Latin community that no matter how they try to identify with white folks, no matter how they try to blend in, no matter how they try to make it look like they are one, they can never be white. And some of them has literally been able to also say that to their community, because they've looked at the east, they've looked at the west, they've looked at the north, they've looked at the south, and at the end of the day, they just know that it couldn't just work. It couldn't just work for them, no matter how hard they are literally trying to blend. So now I am happy that a lot of them are realizing that if Black Americans are not coming out, you don't need to blame them. You don't need to say anything. You don't even need to utter a word. Because why? They have never deserved Black support. In fact, they have literally not done anything for the Black community to be able to stand in solidarity with them. I see a lot of them keep saying, oh, when the Black people were also fighting for their civil rights movement, we also joined. When the Black people were doing this particular protest, we also joined. When the Black people were doing that particular protest, we also joined. You joined because you were also looking for a way to stand. You were also looking for a way to survive America. You were also looking for a way to blend into the system. So now that Black Americans have done everything and you people are ungrateful, I'm happy that a lot of them are now realizing that that particular system they have literally created is what is failing them. That particular system they thought will favor them, but that particular system they thought will blend with them, that particular system they thought that at the end of the day, Black people are not important. It's what is really sinking a lot of them. So right now they automatically know that no Black person is ready to support. In fact, as it even stands now, because Black Americans have literally noticed that they never have an allies with anybody, they are boycotting a whole lot of people. They just want to stand on their own. They just want to build on their own. They just want to do every single thing. And of which I so much appreciate that, because I keep saying it in my videos. If you're conversant on this channel, for how long do you keep beating a child and expect that child not to cry? Today you beat that child, you tell that child to keep quiet. Tomorrow you beat that child, you tell that child to keep quiet. Next tomorrow you beat that child continuously. A day will come where that child will literally cry, and that child will not only cry, that child will cry out loud, because that child have seen that if I keep kept keeping quiet, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be getting the justice that I so deserve. So congratulations to the Latin community for realizing and for admitting to the fact that their own system has destroyed them. Their own system has dragged them backward. Their own system has made them lost every single right and solidarity they have with Black people. And do not get me wrong, I'm not saying that Black people shouldn't be friends with Latinos, blah, blah, blah. We still have some few Latinos that are still good. We still have some few Latinos that are speaking for Black people. We still have some few Latinos that can still tell you, yeah, Black Americans, we understand your pains. And to those ones, we definitely really appreciate those ones. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you. Liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And yes, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah.